Today's guest isn't just another name in the game, he's a straight up force. Over 25 years deep in the world of ink, art, hustle, and staying true to self. From skin to walls to enamel pins, Skizzy Scott has built a career that doesn't just walk the line between art and entrepreneurship. It tags it up, fills it with color, and sells the blueprint. We're talking about passion versus greed, talent versus imitation, and what it takes to stand out in an industry that too often rewards the wrong things. This episode, it's not about trends, it's about truth. So buckle up, because this is the business of tattooing, and we're about to get real with Skizzy Scott. So bro, so you haven't done any shows for a while, huh?
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, because I haven't seen you out on the road for quite a long time, but you've been painting a lot? Murals? Been doing a lot of murals?
See, yeah, that's like I'd say the Achilles heel, the original art in me. I've been doing that since I was a kid, so that's one of my reasons that got me into tattooing, got me into lettering, and like that original, that keeps you going. It's my art. I'll do it until I die. I'll be bombing graffiti until I'm like an old man. Like, somebody push me up this hill.
Yeah, bro.
Wheelchaired up to the
So
spot.
how did you go from how'd you go from a graffiti artist into tattooing? I mean, how did that transition even happen?
It was different. I again got in a bunch of trouble in Flint, and it wasn't trouble that was like I'm on the lam or fucking on the run or whatever, but running with a group of criminal kids that are all going to jail or prison. My locker partner, my buddy, right in high school had a armed robbery charge. You know, bunch of my buddies shot a bunch of people and was going to jail. So they seen this group of people, juvenile delinquent, as kids running around. And yeah, it pretty much was just observing. We see y'all. We see you getting picked off one by one, doing bad shit. I didn't want that, man. I didn't want to go to jail.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't want to sell drugs and be a criminal my whole life. So a bunch of my homies, we went down to Atlanta in like 1999, and shit just flourished down there. And I met this dude, Big James, and he's seen some of the graffiti stuff and the pictures that I did, and he was like a big timer down there in like West Atlanta, like West Side, fucking Bankhead Highway type shit, and he just seen something in me, man, and it was weird because I didn't want to at first. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers are wilding up there. Wow, I want to come up there and tattoo. But he put me onto this ism, and it was different back then because it wasn't like now, man. Like he had me in there like today they'd be like, I don't want to do that bitch work, but it was like, hey, go do breaks for a week if you worked as a construction dude, and you're like, I don't know how to do breaks. And then 2 weeks later, you're knocking out breaks at home because you got that skill. It was needle making, though, back in them days. He'd be like, yo, I need you to make some needles. I need you to clean these tubes. The shit that we don't even kind of have in the industry, except for the piercing side of things. But he hooked me up, man, and he kind of took me under his wing. And I wasn't done growing, I wasn't done. I was probably like 18, 19. I think I was 19. I was real green to the big city coming from Flint. And he kind of put me out of that. Like, he's like, tattooing, it's like any other trade, skills trade. I could teach you how to weld, and you could fuck that up, or you could flourish. So what you put into the game is what you get out of the game. And that's in any situation.
Right.
And I had to put that graffiti down, though, man. Atlanta was a little different than Flint. Flint's wide open with the graffiti. There's fucking Wild West of the 1800s when it comes to that. You could get beat up by some other graffiti artists. You could get shot and killed fucking around in the wrong neighborhood, or you can get beat up, shot and killed by the police. Or it's just a fucking Wild West bandit building fest of graffiti. And that that wears on your soul, man. Seeing all that shit, that blight and that shit. So I knew I had to get out of there and go to Atlanta with something different.
Yeah, yeah. So how old were you then when you went to Atlanta?
19,
And how long did you stay in Atlanta?
15 years, 16 years.
Damn, bro. So you tattooed at the same spot in Atlanta or you moved around? You were there the whole time, tattooing at the same spot or different places?
Both. I tattooed at the. Hey, check this out. This is how old it was because this shot was from the '90s. It was on Bankhead Highway. Actually, when so Bankhead's a really long. Like everybody hears about it from rappers and Atlanta and stuff. Bankhead goes from all the way downtown Atlanta, all the way to I think like Birmingham, Alabama, and it changes. So during the little spot we were at on the west side, it goes West Side Atlanta, and then it goes Veterans Memorial. Then they changed it again. Now it's like Donald Lee Howell Parkway. But he uh he got locked up, man, for about 7, 10 years. And I took over the shop for a little bit. That was the first experience of I'm an artist, I'm a talent. I'm the talent, man. Where the fuck is the managers? Where the fuck is who's supposed to be doing all this shit? This ain't my job. I'm supposed to just show up with a fine manicure and work and tattoo and like I'm the talent, man. Bro, it's babysitting. It's checking ledgers. It's looking at last bills, calling up people. You spend so much time as the owner, and if y'all don't know this, other listeners and stuff, it's not tattooing. It's like if anything you see in the world, it's that guy behind the scenes that is number crunching and doing all that shit that your manager, oh, I hate my manager. Yeah, he hates you too because you give him a hard time and he has to check balances and go behind you like a babysitter. And I was young, man. I might have been like 20 years old by that time 22 or something like that. I was real young and didn't want his business. And he lives like a gangster ass motherfucker. So I'm like, man, what if I fuck up? He's like, if you fucked up, you call my wife or you call my fucking one of the peeps, and they'll take over for you and pick up the slack. But I did it. I did it until he got out. And as soon as he got out, I was like, I gotta go. This stuff burnt me out as a tattoo artist and a person, period.
So you had to hold that down for like 10 years?
No, I had to dip out. And then it's crazy because then a bunch of my other people down there, some immediate friends, they some shit got down. They got hemmed up by the police and they got locked up for a while. And a bunch of my like solid friends died, got killed down there. Some gang shit, some bullshit. One of my good friends, he was gonna open up a shop, man. His name was Chris. He worked at this strip club, man, and he got paid $1,000 a night to be the head of security. And he was wrestler. He was a wrestler. We were gonna open up this shop, had a recording studio and tattoo shop, man, and he got a deal from MTV because that's who he wrestled for. MTV has a circuit. Uh, he got $180,000 check twice
Damn.
before he could cash that shit. He went to work and got shot in the head.
Oh shit. Outside the strip club one night?
Man, I hate to be like this. But he threw some little white bread chicken shit ass motherfucker that was in like a hip hop nightclub and thought he had to like get a rep or something. And he got thrown out and he came back to the door and shot him in the head.
Jesus Christ, bro. Phew.
Yeah, man. I don't know why that shit. Hey, that's the curse of having 8,000 fucking solid super friends, man. 8,000 friends, you might see 8,000 losses.
Yeah, yeah,
And
bro.
that people are like, man, you know everybody. I'm like, yeah, I constantly have fucking deaths in the circle, where I'm like, fuck. That was another. I'm bouncing around. I'm doing it. What we talking about, but yeah, man, I'm bouncing around. We were supposed to open up a shop, and that hurt, man, because like we had the location, paint, but it wasn't in my name. So like when that happened, poof, my world changed. My investment was gone. Everything got flipped upside down. That was the first time I lost everything. I didn't even have a car, dude. Like I down in Atlanta, I was taking MARTA everywhere, just bop in and bop out. So yeah, man. And again, we were getting like a live work little place down the road that was like a party after party spot sleep station. I'm like, shit, what? I'm gonna fucking crash there every day, bro. You got a fucking crash pad for the shop. But yeah, man, after that shit, you go into a dark place. I started bartending down there, and that lifted my spirits for a little while. Then I started working again and doing my thing, bounce around from shop to shop. Not really big names. And another thing with Atlanta, man, there'll be a big shop, and then they'll just go. They'll sell it to some scratcher ass owner, and then next thing you know, it's a new name, new location, two doors down, and that whole empire and that whole era of cool shops and these spots that I once worked at are just no longer exist, and people don't even know their names.
Yeah, yeah.
But that shop that Big James started working at, check this out. It was called Deep South Players Tattooing. That's the whole name. Deep South Players Tattooing. It had a martini glass, had dice, and a tiny little tattoo machine on the side, man. Like, it was fucking crazy. And I'm like, tattooing. Never heard of a plural or an action word in a fucking name of a shop.
How many artists was at that shop? Was it like a gangster shop?
Yes, but it was all black dudes, huge black dudes. We're not talking about you like, Scotty, come on. No, these motherfuckers were
Football players,
Suge
bro.
Knight-esque or
Linebackers.
Suge Knight's right-hand man-esque, And I was the only white guy. And then they always talked because I was the only artist at the time. Because again, he sought me out because he's seen some shit I did. But the whole time he'd be like, "Man, Rob, you're a good podcast, but man, we should have Walter Cronkite around here." And you're like, "Oh, okay, all right." Yeah, man, Walter Cronkite, man, you don't even understand, bro. He was so good. I'm like, all right, man, keep on hearing about this motherfucker. He popped in one day, and I'm like, okay, so he's a good, all right, dude's cool. And he wasn't just cool, man. It was my best friend. He became my best friend, still to this day. Korean and black dude. Everybody loved Q-Lock. They talked about Q-Lock like he was like the Korean Jesus. No, he was just talented, bro. The other artists there, it was so intimidating because they would step in and be like, "Yeah, Rob, like, yeah, what do you think of this?" You're like, "How the fuck did you draw that up in fucking 35 seconds?" And it's not a sketch. It's like you just have concept art down, bro. And it was just me and him, and they hired him back to like put me on my toes. They were like, "Sip, let's straight up. This is Big James. Man, we hired Q to put you on your toes. Yeah, don't try and get any money from him because I'm the manager too. I make needles, manage, open up shop, all that shit." Because it was weird being the manager, the apprentice, the new guy, and the bitch guy that goes and gets everything, and you got to collect money.
Yeah,
Go get the
right.
money for today. I'd be like, "You miniature boy, go get it." So when they hired him, he's like, "Yeah, he gets 100%." Okay. Yeah, so don't be barking up his tree for cash. I'll do that. So yeah, it was just me and him, dude. Just
Hold it
doing our
down.
thing. Yeah, holding it down, and James just pull up and be like, like hit his horn, like, and you just come out and be like, "Hold up, James."
Where's my envelope?
Like we're some prostitutes and shit, just like some Johns or some fucking prostitute dudes. He's just like, "Y'all got anybody in the chair?" "Yeah, we both do." "Get back in there." And he owned a record label too, man. So his whole empire persona. Be honest with you, man, I should not tell this story because shit, pending. Okay, penny cases. Uh, he was like Frank Lucas in them stories of
Yeah, yeah.
American Gangster or whatever. He had 9 businesses. James was like that, man. He was like a old school football legend at his high school, and not like a legend, just like a badass motherfucker. Him and all his crew. So after high school, they already had like that persona, that fucking oh, there's James. Even he had fans of football, fans of that, and then he started doing his own thing, and create his empire in the drug game. So when I came along, he was already pretty much like a close to a millionaire.
Really?
Like he might. The thing is, this was weird. You can be a millionaire, but if you're a dope dealer and you're all in, double or nothing, you're taking that mill point two and re-up and trying to get that like Sam's Club extra bulk quantity. We can get a shipment, but we get 2 shipments if we get another 50 grand. Like all
Yeah,
day.
bro.
You're always reinvesting everything. So if I counted $1 million with this motherfucker and gave it right away, we had a waiting pool and throw ones in it for strip club nights. So like this whole crew with this white guy coming along, dude, was like, you know, intimidating. And then their clientele base was either, friends of the family, friends. So it
Hmm.
wasn't like tattooing off the street. When somebody off the street would come, you'd know, and you might get kicked out. And this is back in the 90s days where fucking, when I first went to the shop, he told me to come up. I come up and it's a pulled glass door. And I'm like, it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What's up? What you want? Is James here? Man, shut the door on you. 10 minutes later, I tell you to come up. Yeah. All right, come back in like a couple hours.
I know, right?
You had to get like buzzed in. You didn't just walk up to the door of a tattoo shop back then.
Yeah, yeah.
Tattoo shops, some. There was a shop around the corner. They're a white tattoo shop. They were open at 9. You could walk in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
door, get a
yeah.
piercing and a tattoo. But you didn't want one from them. You wanted one from these guys that had this, I got this one from James. I got this one from, Brian. I got this one from fucking, whoever. But that also, I was apprentice tattooing, and after 6, 7 o'clock, he'd be like, "All right, shut it down. Go next door and make some CDs, print them up." This is back in the day when you have a duplicator, and he'd be like, load it back up,
Yeah, yeah.
and then we'd hit the strip club circuit until like 3 a.m. passing out flyers, CDs, hollering at DJs and shit like that. And that kind of like took over a little bit compared to the tattooing, learning tattooing. Like I learned tattooing the concept, how to use my machine, how to build needles, how to build tattoo machines. But I didn't get to like focus my craft, you know.
You was doing the
I was
music
out.
stuff too, hustling that.
Hmm. But that's what he was talking about. Like he's like, yo, if this hits, we ain't got to worry about one tattoo ever again. Or if this thing hits, because like he had 9 businesses. Motherfucker had a tree cutting business, had all these like 50, 60, $70,000 giant machines that only one dude could drive. He can't drive it. He don't got the license to drive it. He'd buy these things, set up a fucking LLC in a company. So if any of them work, that's why he's like, yo, put your feelers out. You want money making money when you're not doing it. So when you wake up, you're checking your balances from the things that work, you know. And so he didn't really teach me how to advance in tattooing. He taught me the basics because he didn't know, because he hired people just like
Yeah,
his other
yeah.
businesses. So when Q came along, man, it gave me competition. It pushed me, helped me. Q Lock was and still is a bad motherfucker. He's down in Athens at a Pain and Wonder tattoo. and up in Athens, because in Georgia it's up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
right.
But from where I'm at in Michigan right now, in Flint, I'm like, it's down. I do that a lot, man. I'll say down to Michigan and up, whatever. But yeah, man, when he came around, that pushed me, man. And that wanted me to take that graffiti art, lettering shit, and bring it to the tattoo world. But check this out. This is like 2002, 2001. I made my first flash sheet and they clown me. They clown me for, it's like, what are you doing drawing outside the lines, dude? What the fuck? We got like a bunch of them laughing because we had the Cherry Creek. If y'all know, Cherry Creek's Smile Now, Cry Later theater mass. That
Yeah.
I talked about this as an artist, and this we used to talk about this forever. Back then, when somebody made a sheet of flash, they sent it off to a graphic designer, then sent it off to a printer thing. There's so many different non-artists where you're looking over your test prints, like nowadays when you're going to like Yellow Beach or whatever. They're like, hey, here's a test print, here's this, check this out. What is that? So there would be so many lines that didn't make it to the finished, final, laminated product that you have on your wall. Jesus had like a thorny crown that was like woven into his hair. And you had to be like, wait, it's okay. Or they did it on purpose to see if they were going to see tattoos in magazines with hair woven same lines for the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. I hated it. I hated that the Smile Now, Cry Later had this ribbon that came off, and the same ribbon went and had like a line on the eye or something, and so you would follow it. So even if you did it exactly right, you know, it's like, hey, what's up, Rob? How you doing? Like you got the thing that just goes in contour line with the whole thing, and then it comes off and flares off. And so I made a bunch of laughing, crying out, praying hands and all that shit. They fucking clown me, man. They're like, no one's gonna get that shit. Hey, James, look at this shit. They took it over to the recording studio, like, hey, legendary Rob Thomas, look at this. Ah! Chicks were in there clowning. I'm being clowned for trying to show off my originality in the after '90s type. That's what it was. It was like, because back then it was like pick and stick. You pointed, they
Yeah.
yanked it off of Velcro. We didn't have Velcro. Some of them were Velcro, but ours had like tape, duct tape. So there's like adhesive all over shit. It just felt bad. So you'd be like, and you wouldn't turn the backside to see how many times you did it. Or, yo, check this out. Or back in the day, you would do so many of them pick and stitch, same size, exact thing. Some of the fuckers would keep their fucking stencils in the back. And I seen a shop, not this shop, but I seen a shop with a broken display case completely filled with stencils, and they'd just be digging through there to save time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, y'all are nasty as fuck. That's another thing too, man. I didn't like some of the PPE, the bloodborne pathogen. What do you call it? Structured outline of what you did from start to finish. Now, yeah, it still had the same premise up to date, but like it wasn't. It didn't have like that fucking magnifying glass on what the fuck we was doing.
Yeah, it's a lot more strict today for sure.
Except on a few things, and on our little pre-combo, y'all didn't hear this, but we talked about stuff like this about that was 25 years ago, y'all. It was in '99 when I became a rookie, apprentice, amateur. Fuck, man. Just saying the word, like, people are like, well, that was '99. It's not the '90s. I'm like, I can't say 2000, motherfucker. I can't say 2000 anything. I have to say 1999 when I started. And I'm proud of it now. I didn't like it then because, but 25 years ago, things are a lot different. Shit, every 5 years, this industry changes. But back then, it was like, members only gatekeeping. It wasn't that. It was the IRS was never supposed to know what the fuck we do or did, or it was like, you know, a door-to-door cookie salesman. You know what I mean? You don't know how much he's making or not making. That was the gatekeeping, y'all. It wasn't like, and the gatekeeping was because we didn't do the same thing as like welders or plumbers. There's no official issue licensing. You get a license, but it's the same as a LLC
Right, right.
in some states, not Georgia. Michigan, it's fucking wide the fuck open up here, man. Indiana, a lot of
Wide
them
open in
states,
most places.
yeah. Some bozo that fucking wins the ghetto lottery for, I got 20 G's, I hit a lick. I'm gonna open up a tattoo shop because in their eyes, it's the easiest turnkey business because the people that they see doing it don't look professional. So they're like, this is the low side of things, barbershop, salon, nail shop, all that. But it's not. It's all of them are temporary 2 week item things. Hair grows back, nails grow back. But the consequences of fucking up tattoos, that's your whole career on the line. You only get like 3 strikes, fuck ups, if that, you know,
Yeah.
the
That's
severity. And then back then you gotta think. You remember I'm in the most gangsterous fucking Suge Knight. There's like multiplicity Suge Knights. And they're all just like, what are you doing, Scotty? Don't fuck that up. You know how many times I heard by the, hey, that's my brother. He's an official blank, blank, blank member, gang member. Don't fuck that up.
yeah, bro. That's some pressure.
Yeah, for the first year. And to the point where I'd be like, man, fuck you and your gang, man. Tell the motherfuckers to come up here and get some tattoos
Yeah,
and
bro. So,
rep that. I ain't seen a tattoo on them yet.
bro, so that's a stressful situation the whole time, just bouncing around like that and crazy. And so like, why did you decide to stick with tattooing, dealing with all that extra pressure and not even being able to hone your focus necessarily on tattooing and art all the time? Was you caught up in the
Yeah.
hustle a little bit, trying to learn it?
Well, back in these days, late 90s, early 2000s, I'd say the only motherfucking thing that you could transition from selling dope was tattooing. Back in 99, when I first started, yeah, money was real good. And I did hustle drugs in the community at the same time, so I got paid. And again, because I did the work, not I got paid as an apprentice. No, I got paid during my apprenticeship from other things, the record label, the extracurricular activities, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So shit, I the money. Yeah, look, it ain't the same anymore, and it's hard to even grasp that concept of like, oh, you telling me you were selling blah 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 dope, and then you started tattooing, and it's like, yeah, it was pretty close.
Oh
you
yeah.
you can handle your Mercedes Benz bills from tattooing back then because you're like, fuck, I didn't hit the block once. But then that's what you said, just like you said. When is it enough? Because you've
Right.
already seen that stage that you were on and flexing.
Yeah, and you see your homies getting iced, and man, you're fucking losing people and fucking going to jail, losing their fucking freedom.
That tattoo keeping up with the Joneses shit and seeing your friends getting it, putting the Renzos on the fucking bands, off the factory. Damn. I see these younger cats coming up and I'm fucking hustling drawings. It's tempting, especially if you know you got it and you still got your clientele or people are still calling you. Back then, I ain't told this story in a while, but back then, being a chef, made you money. I'm sure there's chefs out there right now that still. Back then it was $1,000 for a key to cook it up. But you're also in them same trenches. If yo, so it'd be like, yo, I can get paid that much money running bullets to you guys in the trenches of a war. Yeah, fuck yeah, we'll pay you a lot of money to come right to us in the middle of a war. Yeah, but you can also get shot, killed, robbed, go to prison. Oh no, I'm just cooking this for these guys. I'm a specialty chef that comes in to manufacture these drugs. You are busted, and them dudes are not gonna fucking clarify.
Right, right.
So I'd still get them calls and be like, "Nah, I'm good."
Right. Right, bro.
And so yeah, the money, man, the money kept you going. But again, there's a side of doing walk-in bangers that were point and click back then. Remember, shitty cherry click point click. So if you were an artist to begin with, and now you're just writing thank you letters to these, like you're only doing these walk-in tattoos, you're not feeling creative, and you're sitting around reading books, waiting for, so it was like, I'd rather just hustle than to do walk-in bangers. Started doing that shit, but when he got locked up, I had to get away from that. And so I did take a little hiatus and was bartending and doing my own extracurricular activities to make money.
So
And
what
then
did
I went back.
what did you do after your other homeboy got shot at the night at the strip club and then all
Well, I
that
lost
fell
everything.
apart? Yeah, well,
Yeah, this timeline is fucked because Jen got locked up. Then me and my buddy was about to do. I almost mentioned the name. It kind of got me. We were gonna open up the shop, and then when he got killed, I had nothing. I had to sell this car at the time to get a station set up and then bounce around couch surf, living out of that car down in Atlanta. And still keeping that. Remember, people know me from all this strip clubs, all that. So I got this like persona, you know, and I'm working at a bar, extracurricular activities, trying to get in the shop now because I knew I needed to get back on track.
mm-hmm.
No more trenches, no more fucking side hustles. And I got that station and I started doing guest spots. And see, that's where, like, if you look at my Facebook or whatever, you're like, damn, this dude bounced around. All them shops, either motherfuckers got locked up, killed, gone, retired, and just done. So I had bounced around after the Big James got locked up. Then my buddy got shot in the head. And then I was just, to be honest with you, dude, I was lost, confused, didn't know what to do. I was probably 26 at the time,
Yeah, yeah.
down in the state again, back again, lost everything, and didn't have a fucking place to go. And I'm not in my state to go back home to mommy and daddy. And I never had that. Plus, my mommy and dad are from Flint. You ain't calling a motherfucker from Flint for a fucking help me loan. They'll give you some help me advice on how to get
Now my
out of it. But it's words, not no money or no birds. No save me stool pigeons, whatever like that. So like I was fucked. And then I had to go from the bottom. The only place that would take somebody that ain't been, in a shop in a year or two is the bottom. I had to go to like a flea market to start at first to get my chops, just to make sure I was doing my thing. And then the persona came back. You know, I started going to them same places that I once was hustling CDs, flyers, and extracurriculars, and now I'm passing out flyers and cards.
to get some tattoo clients.
Uh-huh. And this is trying to think of the time now when I went back. When I went back down to and this is in College Park too, Old Natty L, Old National Road and Godby Road. This is College Park, right there in the fucking south side of the hood, the most hood you can get. And shouts out to the south side because during that time I'm from the west side. They got their persona. You got a look, you got a sound, you got a choice of words for slang. They got their own. Atlanta has a bunch of different neighborhoods, and they might be visiting like the west side of Atlanta, and then you got the SWATs, which is southwest, and then you got all these other ones. So I transitioned pretty far and jumped over a bunch of different areas, and Southside showed love, dude. That's the thing about Georgia and Atlanta and stuff like that. And that was the thing that kind of lifted me up from all these times when I had nothing and had nobody except for one homie that was my buddy's brother, my buddy Don, that I kicked it with. And that was my only Flint connection. And he is not blood. So again, he's barely giving me advice or any type of help on, when you're down and out. He's down and out too. So what am I going to help you with? But so I'm down there, and all them times, man, each time, the people of Atlanta, their vibe, their camaraderie amongst each other, even the tattoo shops, tattoo artists, they were all in these same situations prior. But the South Side took me with open arms when I felt just as green and confused as I was when I first became an apprentice at that other shop. Because now at least I was, before working at James's shop at that super hood gangster shop, all the other people I got to warm up to. But on the south side, it was a flea market called the D Mall. On the south side, it's strange faces every day, people flipping them, their little spots in the flea market. So you had you, and what you said of what goes to get you into some shit or not, or get you tight with some people, which really made good connections on the south side. I worked over there for about 2 years, and I didn't want to go because the money's good in the hood. It's just you're doing a lot more. It's more quantity, less quality, names and bangers. But yeah, man, they brought me back to life. And when I was down and out, this was probably around 2010 at
Yeah.
that time, and I had went up and down, lost it all, got it back, lost it all, got it back, and then wanted a positive life, no more fucking around. And College Park, and they took care of me. And after that, that's kind of when the originality, I always wanted to do my own thing. And so now the doing me, putting me first, doing these tattoos that I want to do, drawing right on the customer with markers and tattooing it right there, which I learned from my buddy shortly after, that put me onto the ism, and he kind of caught me up. Like he said, I ain't gonna apprentice nobody ever except for my child, but I'll catch you up, you know. And he caught me up and got me. I'd even take to the skill level that I'm at right now, and I needed that for what I was needed to do, and he's seen that, and he's like, I'll just give you these few out then, but I don't like repeating myself, so you either get it or you don't, and you're either gonna sink or swim. Hey, James always said you're either gonna do two things in this world: you're gonna mildew or barbecue. What do you want? We cooking or we fucking stagnating some old algae?
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So how you think about actually I saw you I think one of the last shows I saw you at was even before COVID when we were doing the Atlanta Tattoo Expo down there at the racetrack. But that was like
I,
2018 maybe, bro.
I almost wore that shirt today.
Were you still living in Atlanta then? Or you just came down there for the show?
Came down there for the show. That that I love. Hey, so that's a weird show because that before COVID was my super tour. Like I think me and Jamie went because I traveled with my girl that tattoos as well, and she we went for 2016 doing like, hey, I always use these terms, but it's a chitlin circuit up here. It was just like the Easy Riders, the events and stuff like that, building up. Then we did a bunch of non-villain art shows, and then we did a couple villain art shows. And then we went 4 years straight, but we didn't. I think we gave up one of our places and didn't have a home, and we're just traveling so much. We come back, and just be right back on the road. That Atlanta show we did Milwaukee and drove all the way down from Milwaukee to Atlanta, then did Atlanta and something else. But that show was one of the catalysts of when I was like, okay, so I'm making great money, I'm doing positive stuff, but when I clock out, I get real loose. I got real loose at the you have to do your own workout, listeners and viewers, whatever. You're gonna have to do your own homework. You can find it. A lot of people still have videos of me stripping down naked on stage with the band, uh, taking over aggressively like Gigi Allen. I'm like, give me that microphone, like just almost exactly like Frank the Tank,
Yeah,
and
bro.
not even know it. But that show was awesome, and it was super hot. They had a heat streak in October that's rare, but it was like 109, man. I remember meeting you and Scotty down there, man.
Yeah.
And Scotty's like, I don't even know if I'm gonna keep doing these interviews. It's so fucking hot, man. Like 109 plus humidity in Atlanta in the middle of a
Fucking
no
racetrack,
shade zone.
bro. Fucking racetrack. A fucking NASCAR track, bro.
That was badass because not many people have
Pit
been
row,
down there
bro. It
like
was
that.
pit row. Yeah, that was fun though, bro. That show was fun, man. I don't,
Yeah,
what? I had so much fun, bro. I didn't even remember the heat. I don't remember it being hot like that, bro. We was having a good time.
I had a blast. I had a blast because for me, oh, to be honest with you, I wasn't on the artist list. She was. Um, Jordan Jordan Lindsay invited Jamie. It was they wanted to do a grow booth. Wasn't many of that back then. Uh, so I was just kicking it. I was there for support, and then I met the dudes from Mark Society, and we had a lot of mutual friends. And again, I was living up in here in Michigan, and so visiting back down there, you connect with other. You're like, damn, I didn't know you knew Rob, dude. Rob's my homie. Damn. Like that was when I found out that you and like sometimes you don't know that you know a lot of people in the industry that are brothers or work together, owners, co-owners, whatever, and you just don't, you know,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
had the two people in the same room. And I remember I was like, wait, you and Scotty do? And you're like, yeah, that was an awesome show. A lot of people had heat stroke from getting tattooed.
I don't remember that, bro. I remember there was a big scene over the awards at that show. Some artist didn't win, and it was a big ordeal for like hours, bro, in the parking lot. Like it was a huge fucking thing. I
They
remember
took that
that.
shit serious.
I remember
There
that.
was,
Yeah, that was a big fucking thing. The cops were there and everything. I remember that shit was crazy. All over some awards, you know what I mean? Like crazy. And I was like,
well,
damn.
hey, you could say it's all over awards, but again, that's how invested a motherfucker is in their art
Yeah,
and
bro.
their time and their passion they put in. Because they're like, are you fucking kidding me? You know what I did to that? I, hey, uh, I lost fucking 2 years of my back on that tattoo. And you're
Yeah,
telling me
yeah.
I didn't even rank place. Judging is that I judged. Hey, and just throwing it out there, there's a video of my buddy fucking. I'm looking at a dude's tattoo, not knowing that Yazzie is like looking at the tattoo behind me. I'm like, damn, bro, blah blah blah. I did this, but I like, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? It'd be like me telling you, Rob, what? Oh my god! And Yazzie comes walking up, and he's like. You know, Yazzie, if you don't know, I've met him a few times. I got some pictures with him. He's a man of light words. Like I've always wanted to get to know him. I haven't had a chance. I think I ruined it then because he might have heard me And I don't think he heard the artist name really never got revealed. It was the fact that I'm on stage at the very, very end of Best of Show, and I'm loose, loose lips, about to ruin it because I would have ruined it, and that wouldn't have been fair. And that had nothing to do with the fight, y'all.
Right,
It
right.
was just something that I did that I'm like, oh my god, I want to fucking cut these lips off right now. And I looked up to Yazzie. I thought he was the coolest dude ever, and I'm like, yeah, you fucked that up. He ain't never gonna talk to you again.
Yeah, bro. Nah, he's a cool dude, bro,
He
actually.
is.
Yeah, he's
But
cool, man.
yeah, they took that serious, man, in every category. That judging shit, that's why I don't think the person that throws the event should be a part of it. It should be something about the people's choice. Like, but then again, that's biased because I could bring my hood gang and I got 200 people there, and now I'm paying whatever it is that costs to get these people in to root for me. So it's like
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
think
don't
there should
envy
be
judging, bro. I don't
huh?
envy judging tattoo competitions. This shit's hard, bro. Like, so, dude, I've judged a lot of shows, bro, and some of them you know, you got fucking, bro. I've been to shows where you got 100 fucking entrants, bro, and you got to pick three winners out of 100 fucking tattoos, and a lot of times it's 100 good tattoos, bro. Like, how the fuck you
Hey, what
supposed?
shows have you? Hey,
Hey,
this is a joke. Boom, boom. What shows did you judge at? I see. Hey, 75 hey, out of 100, y'all. Come on. You need to walk up and look at the fucking line before you sit in that line for, hey, 75 people to come up and get like, hey, sized up. That's basically what we do. All right. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? I did it a few times. I did it so many times that I won't volunteer. If there's somebody willing and able that wants to take that heat, I'd rather them do it. Because again, I know so many artists and so many friends. Sometimes out of them 100, there's 25 to 30 of my friends that I was just kicking it with, and I watched them do the tattoos. So it's also unfair because I know, because I'm a social butterfly and bounce around, I know who these tattoos belong to.
yeah, yeah.
And they know that, and all judges in judging competitions, they know that. Like, you ain't blind, you ain't up in your fucking hotel room for 3 days until best of show to like do the
Uh,
grand reveal.
right, right.
And a lot of times they have stuff that could have won in different categories. Me and Jimmy were judging this category. There was 70, it was like 75 people in this black and gray dots, and two of them were geometrically outstanding. They were, oh, guys, that's another thing. Look at the line because there's somebody that stands out like a fucking sore thumb that you're like, yeah, no, I'm not going to win. Look at that. Look at the line. It's only 10. That's another thing. It's $10. It should be a little bit more of a fee for that, and that would shorten up that line. But when I did it, it's janky. Not no offense to anybody in their art and craft, but in the line of judging, it's a tons of crappy, bloody. They're dabbing them as they come up to control it because they just got out of the chair. It wasn't finished. It was rushed. And there's fucking Nico piece or, somebody like Jimmy or Chase or something in the geometric dot. It's like, dude, these motherfuckers put their whole life into this style, this genre, and you rush during this tattoo. Do you really think you're going to beat that one right there? And then you're sitting there sizing up tattoos that I don't know, man. I don't like the judging. And then again, look, that person that won best of show, $10,000, $20,000. That's awesome. That three people thought your tattoo was cool. Like, it's three people,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Three people decided that you were better than all these other people that did the same type of passion and work into it. I don't like that. I don't like that we're in a society of social media that when I started in the 90s, you didn't give a fuck about what people thought of you. You didn't give a fuck about what they liked or not. That's why I became a tattoo artist. I didn't own a motorcycle, but I felt like a motorcycle rider because
Yeah.
fuck you guys. I'll get a face tattoo, which I don't. I have a behind the ear tattoo.
Got a
But
couple
like,
neck tattoos.
yeah, that was insane back in the day to have that in the 90s. You were like, you're an inmate or hey, so when I first started, it was only when I
Is
first
that
started
your
in 99,
DOC number on your neck, bro?
the walk-ins like I was before when I was talking about the walk-ins like I was talking about were pimps, they're prostitutes, they're johns.
Yeah.
Like it might be the pimp,
Strippers.
the stripper, the prostitute, and then their John that's paying for it all
And the
because he's on a
gangbangers,
trip.
bro.
The pimp's just like lingering, you know, checking his nails out, straight up. All these
Okay.
cool
Checking his
ace.
perm.
A couple of them, Sir Captain, I think, came down there. James. Like I said, he was like that dude, you know. And this is before all that social media, so you had to be at the spot to be seen at the spot. But yeah, man, pimps, prostitutes, all that were the only people that came through the door. So I would be tattooing. Them were my people, you know. Like them were my start that gave me the trust, not these, you know, gang members or these hardcore hustlers that were in the circle. The people off the street would be like, "Hey, one of my favorite things was this pimp. His name. It wasn't spelled like Tupac, but it was his name was Pac. They called him Pac because that you know it could be spelled the same way. It's you mean Pac? No, down south they say Pac. It was Pac the Great, motherfucking super pimp. And because of that, they called him Pac Man, Pac Man. So his prostitutes would get little ghosts, you know, and have fucking Pac Man chasing them. The irony,
Little
whatever. We won't get
tattoos.
into that. So he had a string of, you know, 20 something girls a year swapped out. What do they call that? A staff overturn. Where he kept me fire with them ghosts constantly red and blue, green, you know, all of them. Yeah, all had individual names, all new. So like, shit, man, doing them tattoos and doing that shit off the street. That was the people. So to have tattoos and all that, that was that rebel f thing. You were in these, and back then, your mom did not want you going to a tattoo shop. Your mom did not want you with at that spot that I just talked about, or at the spot, because that's where you would pick up some stuff. You'd grab a girl, you know. Hey, get hemmed up by the police. That's where you know, you were down there. That would be the West Side, you know. Hey, old Natty L, Galvin Road. So like, it's different, and it was different then. It wasn't a gatekeeper. It was almost like it's this secret society, and now there's just so many opposed to back then. And because, like I said, we didn't do a official documentation. Because if you're a welder, or not a welder, if you're a plumber and you want to apprentice, you go downtown and you file paperwork and get it. Damn it, the smoke! I feel like it's going right in the camera. You would get a Boston. You would get it fucking notarized, and it would have Rob Smead is working at Electrum, and he's starting his apprenticeship on this day, and Rob will come down when he finishes apprenticeship, and he will get his official documentation that now he is like Rob, and you only got so many of them. You only got so many apprentices you were allowed to go down, and then it was such an ordeal. I mean, come on. If you were already there, why would you think about how many apprentices if somebody had to go down and do like get a passport type deal, or you know, change their name every time they wanted to be a mentor and get an apprentice.
Right,
Since we
right.
never did that, it's wide the fuck open, and you can just jump in and jump out of the game. And because of that, too many people came in the game that wasn't even a tattoo collector or own a tattoo and just get money off of us tattoo artists. You know,
So when did you make the transition back up to Michigan? How long?
2013 or 12,
Oh, okay.
2013 or 14. Yeah, it was 2013. Now, look, y'all, hey, I do tattoos. I don't do math.
So when
So my numbers might be off a little.
so what made you come back up to Michigan? What made you want to dip out of Atlanta then after that? Just too much heat
That would have
down there?
been,
Just
that would have been,
too many 109 days, bro?
no, more like, dark days. That was when around that time, that opiate epidemic from Florida, the pill mills. The pill mills were coming up from Florida to where they were in Atlanta, to where motherfuckers were snorting Roxy's, the oxycodone 30s, and it became a social like lean. It was like a social norm of doing drugs. And another thing is like you either did them and you stayed up and you went out and partied, which for a lot of my comrades it was do them so you could fight through the pain and stay up. I would tattoo till 3 o'clock in the morning, but also that was like you know during the dark days where I was doing a lot of drugs back then, and it caught up to me. And in that opiate epidemic, it's an infection, man. It infects your brain, it makes you think different, and a lot of times the costs, like my drug habit, I would do 5 of them pills a day at $20-$25 a piece, and other people's were way higher than mine. And you look at the finances that it has, and then you look at the alternatives of a stronger source, which back then was heroin, and that was coming in hard too. And a lot of my friends, tattoo artists, close ass friends, deep friends in the circle, were ODing and dying from that shit. And some of the motherfuckers, man, like didn't even smoke weed and shit. Like they skipped the ladder because of this weird opium epidemic and how it fucks your brain up, infects you. Like you see some straight lace ass motherfuckers just instantly go beyond your habit and not have control of it, and lose control and lose their life, lose their kids and everything. Avocado going. Um, and I started seeing a lot of that, man. And I started seeing a lot of my friends die from it. And I was working at a shop, and one of my friends, man, he went in the bathroom and he was in there for a while, dude. Hey, he had just drew the tattoo on and was like, "All right, I'm gonna smoke, hit the head, tattooing." It's like, I don't know. He's been in there for over 10, 15 minutes. So I'm like, well, let's see what's up. Maybe it's on the playing on his phone and forgot. Nah, man, that motherfucker OD'd in the bathroom.
Damn.
And I had to drag his body out and give him mouth to mouth CPR and shit. And he didn't resuscitate, but the ambulance came and they hauled him off. And it just seeing how close that circle and that trench and that how easy and fast the fast track started to get. This motherfucker went from fucking straight laced teacher to selling mouth for fucking drugs, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro.
And your close friends, your friend's little brother, your friend's little sister turning tricks, high school kids dying. That it seemed like it was just right there, man. And what I thought was crazy, and people are gonna, when I started seeing the black community where I was always at, where the influence was infecting that, I had to get out of there, man. And my parents were going through some shit, and not like the same, complete opposite, just Flint struggling in Flint from all the Flint problems and poverty. I knew I needed to get away, and I did. And right then, dude, like I had somebody die again right before I left. That shit fucked me up hard. So I was like, man, if that wasn't the like eye opener, like my buddy died, all right, it's time to go. Pack my things like the night of before, riding out another close friend. And it seems like in that situation, man, it's dominoes. And they would say death come in threes. I'm like, no, they come in more of that. But you just notice it because the three is like outside your circle, closer in there, deep friend. And that shit fuck you up, man. That shit'll fuck you up mentally, creatively, social media, all that shit. And so I moved back, man. And it's weird to go because everybody in Flint are like, why the fuck did you leave paradise to come to fucking Shitsville, Flint, Sucky Town, low, whatever. But Catch 22, they had just went legalized marijuana up here for medical. And it was at the beginning of what they called the green rush, where marijuana money is coming in, and it was good. And so I came back, did like this PowerPoint presentation to my parents on how we can get out of this jam. I'm like, yo, we can fill the basement up with pot, sell it to dumbass motherfuckers, and that shit worked. And again, it felt again like I lost it all and got it back and was using that game. But again, this is the new Catch 22, 2000, 12 or 13. This is all legal, you know. And I knew I could do my thing. What my buddy would say, like, go do your stuff, Thizzle, Skizzy. And I'm like, hell yeah, JD, I will. And it just worked out. And again, just like anything, it died out. Like right now, you ain't selling no weed
No,
in
straight.
any meta. That shit is just like old. It's old news.
And plus, it's oversaturated like crazy. It's just heavy up
And
there.
so both games, tattooing, murals for me, painting. Shit, if y'all want a mural, I'll come to your tattoo shop and put your logo on there. Plus, I learned how to do sign painting too, which is like
Like
it's
hand
called
painting signs?
it's called twirling brushes, man. If you're
Yeah,
into it,
bro.
hey, twirling
Yeah.
brushes mean you sign on barbershop windows and shit, stuff like that. Uh, it's same thing with that, man. Vinyl siding and graphic. I mean, vinyl signs and graphic. Took that game out, you know. But again, you either adapt or you don't, man. You barbecue or mildew. So what I do is I just mix the media and use it. If you want something done on your walls or whatever, if I need to, I incorporate it. Or if you want it only done on your motherfucking window, we can do it. But yeah, man, all that shit. It seems like everything your boy's been fishing. Hey, that spot gets blown up the next time you come back. I'm like, damn, man, when did all these shops pop up? When did this county and when did this become this? All right, let me show you what I'm about to do. Damn, when did y'all start selling? Everybody's selling weed. I'm like, yeah, all right, well, you start doing murals. Damn, everybody's a fucking muralist now. And all the shit is just it kind of ties back into the social media game that we were talking about. Like what you put into the game is what you get back. But if you ain't doing that digital flyer, doing that thing, putting yourself out there, you might mildew, which I felt like where I'm at now, being the old man, and that happens too, motherfuckers. I was that young little white guy, the only white guy, the only young guy, green. Damn, fucking gray ball, old Scott. You're an old man. Old. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Oh, man, I am. 25 years goes by. And 25 years in the game is deep. I would have never thought. And back in the day, y'all, I never wanted to be a tattoo artist. He sought me out. Like, I didn't go up and be like, I want to be a tattoo artist. You know, I want to be a comedian. I want to be a muralist. I want to be Keith Haring, man. To be honest with you. That motherfucker was badass. But
So man, I just saw that mural you did with the I don't know when you did it, but I just saw it on your social media, the one with the snake and the samurai rat shit, bro. That shit was dope. And I saw you put it
thank
on a skateboard too.
wow. Wow. Thank you, dude. I did the skateboard for an event. It was called it was an event. It was like local. It was called pedal dust up thing. I don't know, but the a friend of mine, he works with Jamie. He started this uh fundraiser for these children with this heart defect. One of them had recently just lost her life in the family. I can't imagine what that's just rough. And shouts out to anybody that lost, you know, a child. No family should have to do that. But there was other kids that had the same, that were in earlier stages that they could help. And so he put out the flyer, was like, hey, y'all, I'm doing these skateboards. And I was like, man, I did so many skateboards. I usually stick to that theme: a snake versus a mouse, a rat. I call it a type of David and Goliath type situations.
Hmm.
And if you've ever seen all of them that I've did, or if you've kept track for you old farts, the snake will win, the rat will win. It goes back and forth. In this case, it was a standoff, and I took a piece of the skateboard because like skateboard was here. I just took this chunk of the skateboard and then just blew it real big for the a little mural fest I did in Flint, and that's at the car wash. It's still up too, which I'm impressed because some of the other artists that when I'm out there, that's another thing. When I'm out there, there's some local legends. There's some of my real good friends that I'm right out there, painting with. And it's weird to be the old guy out there doing it because I started doing graffiti in like shit, 95, 96. I like say like early nine, 6, 7, type shit. Uh, that went by. Now I got 30 years in the game, and I'm like, yeah, but you guys are so better because I spent so much time, doing my other things, man. And that's just life, y'all, man. Like, there's never that, Rob, man, I'm gonna fucking take 3 months off someday and just learn how to bake pies, bro, because that's what I want. If you don't fucking do it and say, you know what, I'm gonna fucking take time out of my day and do it, it's never gonna happen. You don't never get that time. That never comes. You either do it or you don't. And I've learned that, like,
Mildew or barbecue, bro. You said it all the time.
what's that?
You said it,
Oh,
mildew or
oh,
barbecue.
mildew or barbecue. Hell yeah. You getting that grill ready, or you sitting there scrolling or watching TV? I follow this dude, Gary Vee. He talks about we all have our screens and we all have our decompression time. In this world, a screen is about the only thing that you can do for a source of entertainment when you get off work. And everybody understands that. But controlling the zombie scroll that we do, or when I started this shit, social media was for marketing and promotion. So either use it for that or you're scrolling for entertainment to find, while you're on the can or whatever.
Yeah, bro. I know. I listen to Gary V too, bro. I like.
Genius.
I gotta listen to the same shit, dude, because it's like you got a million different things going on. Like your buddy having the music business, having the tattoo shop, having the extracurriculars over here. Bro, you can't ever sleep, man. You got you gotta always be putting in the work.
Uh, and having that income coming in like that gives you safety. It gives you stability to where then you can focus on what you want to invest in yourself and the amount you can. Because you can look at your and I'm a number cruncher. I lied, y'all. I do math. It's just the timeline on that. It's kind of funny. I'm like, I say 15 years. uh, yeah, man. And it's weird how number crunching your money is super easy because you can just do it. But a lot of people don't budget right or prioritize.
Hmm.
My priorities are way opposite of others because I'm trying to invest in myself and put money into things that help grease the gears to get bigger things going. And it seems like other people want to show off and keep up with the Joneses, like getting jewelry and artillery. Yeah, I got gold grills that don't define me as a person. I go places with them and I go places without them. It was for me. Now, them gold chains that motherfuckers are buying, being in the jewelry business and talking to my grill guy, Puff, that shit's expensive. That's just insanely expensive. And now it's all in weight and gold. You're talking about $100,000 chains for some of them 80s chains that people used to wear. That was like a couple $100 back then.
Yeah, bro. They're crazy.
That's a house for me, man. In
Yeah.
Flint, you could buy a fucking Kovac for 20 G's. Are you crazy? And now, and it's weird because in Atlanta, I'm like, yeah, man, come on, that's 2 months rent.
Yeah.
But in the Midwest, in Flint up here, they will size stuff with other things like how many bills or the type of vehicle you can get for that paid off or how much land. Like, boy, you crazy? You can get fucking 40 acres of land for that. And you'll get ridiculed for wearing, monkey ass jewelry that isn't going to be worth shit.
Right. Right. No, I get you, bro, for sure. Some people have priorities messed up, man. I'd be like, damn, money's too hard to make, bro. Like clean money's too hard to make. I ain't gonna piss it away on some stuff like that. But bro, you've been through a lot of dark times, dude. I had, I didn't really have any idea how much and I still don't, bro. I mean, there's not even the little stories you told probably don't even really scratch the surface. But like how do you stay grounded through all that, man? How, because you even said like kills your creativity in a lot of times, like how do you continually suck yourself out of those dark areas and get yourself back to ground zero and stay focused on the prize?
Man, ain't that the winning question of the cast? Fuck.
Is it as
Hey,
simple as barbecue or mildew, or is it like,
no, man. I'll be honest with you. I'd say as a human, the older you get, your circle gets smaller. And that survivor's remorse type shit of like, you know, your friends, whatever, whatever. It has a toll on you, man. Like, when I lost my friend Short a couple years ago, I was going through some stupid shit and I lost my job at a great spot. And I got drunk, high, was all fucked up at a great show. It was in Philly and got into it and said some stupid ass shit that I would have never said. Vice versa, he said some stupid shit, and at the end of the day, and the night, I lost my job over partying with my friends, getting into it, and I heard my friend pass the next morning, And when I returned home, some other shit happened, and it was hard because I had got clean, and for years, 5, 10, however many long time that it had been, 'cause it ain't been 10 years. I don't know why I said that, but I hadn't had any triggers that wanted to throw me off the rails and use, except for that. He was my best friend. Like, I tell people this, like, when you lose a best friend, I've lost family members that I've known fucking so long. Wasn't shit to my soul. Like, I didn't mourn because, like, I don't know, man. We don't choose our family, but you choose your circle and your friends and your best friends. You choose them. They earned, you earned their respect and their friendship and companionship. So, like, losing my best friend, the dude that I would call after this and tell them what I just did, and he was at that pit row. It's hard, dude. Like, there's so many triggers in a day where you want to call your best friend, whoever that may be. Because people got best friends. They're like, my mom's well, it's gonna be hard because you're gonna lose your mom and your best friend. But when you lose your best friend, the mourning process, man, it hit me hard. It still does. I ain't gonna lie. Plus, you'll lose somebody else, and it rehatches mourning, and that feeling has tied with memory and the shit. Like, I lost a friend yesterday, man. And I told you, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad it ain't fucking today. I just lost a friend from Atlanta. His name was Drez the Beatnik, and he was a MC. And I had just seen him last year at the Arts, Beats, and Lyrics thing at the Motor City show. There's this private event that's thrown by Jack Daniels and Red Bull and the Arts, Beats, and Lyrics and shit. And he was hosting an event, man. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna stop by, man. It's right around the corner from the fucking Motor City show downtown. And he's like, bro, that'd be so cool. And we kicked it, smoked, did our thing. That shit hurt because I have friends that are longer and I consider them inside circle friend family, but I don't talk to them as much as certain people that aren't that close to me or know me that well. And Drez was one of them dudes. We randomly talked on Instagram and text, but like, you aren't taught how to mourn. Like, your parents don't teach you how to listen unless they're smart, and your parents don't teach you how to deal with the emotional things as an adult because they still haven't. I don't think any human really really grasp that. So being creative, it's hard. And I'd say maybe, hey, maybe not if you're designing dark shit. Because I'll tell you this, I did. And I got shit that I'm like, yeah, no. Jamie, like, why don't you play? I'm like, no, that's way too dark. I was in a dark place. It might help you. But as far as like, all right, Rob, I can't hold this smile. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard to do customer service. It's hard to be, especially if you know me. I wake up like this. I wake up high energy. I wake up when I'm awake. We'll say after the coffee, because you let Jamie talk, and I'm a pretty grumpy early bird. But when I'm going, when you see me out and it's early, I'm me. It's hard to be me, and it's hard to be the people that they expect and happy-go-lucky jokester having fun when you aren't, and you just want to fucking make reality like Grand Theft Auto and take out a machine gun, and just not necessarily like it's like a slaughter, just like shoot cars, shoot tires out,
Just
shoot
take out your
windows,
frustration. Yeah.
just let it loose. But you got to take these, like, sneak this insults from a customer that's picking apart your design on a consultation, and you're like, noted. You didn't say this. You actually gave a whole fucking list of this. Yeah. Yeah, man. Keeping that up while you're in a dark place is probably one of the hardest things in our industry. And I wouldn't even say in our industry, in customer service and dealing with face-to-face customers,
Yeah.
because they want to peel. Whoa, Rob's sad today. I'm human, you know. We're only human, and we can only do what we can do with what we're given to barbecue or mildew with, you know.
Right, right.
And that's one of the hardest things. I'm so glad you brought that up because I've been in one of them funks lately because of the recent. But hey, again, like I think I started at 8,000 friends, and I don't know where I'm at because it gets old being in that state too, and you do got to do stuff. And to answer your question, I had to think about it because I'm like, man, because also my dog been having issues. So like I would say, oh man, I've been playing with my dog. I take him to the dog park, go for walks, do physical activities that aren't like working out. I don't want to go to the fucking track, dude. The fuck am I going on a track for? Walk around for nothing? Walking on a treadmill? I don't work out like that. I would rather work out for fitness, but I don't want to work out to relieve and let that out in that way. I think I'd get mad and get in a fight at a gym if I went there that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I try and do stuff that's more alone. Meditation works, and it's corny to say sometimes when you're in that like hood environment, like, oh, I meditate, and this motherfucker said meditate me, but yeah, I need to shut this down. And one of them was that Netflix gig, man, that Headspace guide to fucking meditation, man. It gives you like 6 techniques, different ways of different things. And one of them was mourning. One of them was frustration and anger that you can't, that are outside of your control. Which, if it's outside of your control, you should try and do your best to let it go because it's outside of your control.
Right, right. Why are you gonna dwell on it?
But my dog's been having issues. We just got him on a medication, but he was having seizures. So, like, some of the hey, even sometimes your stress relievers can become stressful. And so like it can always get worse. And so I try to use that and think about some of the bad times that I've been. Like I've made it through worse. I've survived worse. And I don't want to think like this is bad because I've been in worse and it could get worse. It can get way your bad life is good, but it can change in the
Right,
snap of a
right.
fucking finger. Overnight, you wake up and everything done change. I had a buddy with this house got burnt down, you know, and that sucks because if you're in this situation that I'm in now, I'm no financially to even loan a penny, but I'd want to give everything up, to help. But yeah, man, get out, do something, try and stay positive. Misery loves company, and so does negativity, man. And that vibe, try to find that group of friends that are your positive friends. You know which ones. You got friends that you hang out that are doing, hey, you keep friends around that you got for this, you keep friends around you got for that. Try and fuck with them friends that'll fucking make you feel good, them positive friends. And try and keep them in your circle and around you because you need them. And I ain't never needed more friends around me than lately, but also you know, I gotta dedicate time to doing my thing and focusing on that. And that's why I've been meditating a lot and just shit. Weed works, but I don't I wouldn't tell anybody to do weed. It doesn't I've been hey, since I think I was a teenager when I started doing graffiti and I think hey, I'm like, what are you guys doing over there? I smoke cigarettes. What is that? Like I've been doing that since I was like 13. So it's like coffee to me. So I don't recommend it to anybody, but like if you know, to me, it's a pacifier. It's a stress reliever. It kind of just
Yeah, yeah.
helps me not shoot back at the cops.
Well, I hope they ain't shooting at you, bro.
Well, they're shooting,
But hopefully
but
not
I didn't
at
like who
you.
they were shooting at the other day, and I almost like,
So Flint's probably still pretty crazy, huh?
yeah, Flint will always be crazy, just for the simple fact that the infrastructure is very similar to another place that built it around something that failed, which would have been the Flint automotive plant, like a place that was built around the paper mill or a mill company where all the roads and the lakes and rivers run through, and now that shit shut down. So what the fuck do we got all these dried up things for this thing that doesn't even happen anymore? That's kind of like Flint. There's so many abandoned stuff and abandoned warehouse that it's gonna take a lot, if any, to even do anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, a lot of crime, a lot of shooting. Uh,
How's tattooing there for you? Is it good? Not good? Well, how's the scene?
Michigan is a beautiful scene for tattooing, and it also has a shelf in an area for all of that crime and low poverty and cheap. And because of the industry, like we talked about before, you got Joe Blow. I had one of my neighbors call me up and say, "Hey, my daughter bought a tattoo machine. Can you teach her some stuff?" She's like 14, dude, and she's an artist.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny. But at one point in time, they were like, "Hey, we have a bunch of family members coming over. We want you to do this dog paw thing for everybody." Come to find out now, she's a designated artist. They're like, "Yeah, we wanted to do them dog paws." I'm like, "The one that you wanted me, the 25-year experience tattoo artist, to do for like 8 of your family members of different skin types and ages, all the way up to like 60, down to like 13." Hey, look, I don't even open that window or that door. Tattooing minors or underage is just a bad scene. But no, it was like a 18 to fucking 60, and now a 14-year-old's taking the responsibility to tattoo all these people with this machine that I didn't even ask. I was like, "Yeah, I don't do that no more." Like, come on, man, it's so oversaturated because you can get it off of Amazon.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can get shit. No, you can get a tattoo machine off of Walmart.com.
For cheap, you can buy a whole ass kit for less than $100, bro, with some cheap ass inks and
The
everything.
fuck, man?
We talk
What
about it
the
all the
fuck?
time. Talk
The
about it
fucked
all the
up thing
time.
is, it's hard to decipher all of this shit in this stupid matrix if you don't know the origin, where we came from, what we were doing it for, why, all this shit. Especially if you just want to do it because it looks easy. Like I literally had this. I overheard this apprentice at this last shop I worked at said she wanted to do it because she was bored at home and it looked easy, and she wanted passive income while her husband was at work. Like, she was just this overweight, lazy mom that didn't want to do anything of effort. And she literally said this looked like the easiest thing I could get into. And I just was so mad. I'd have been like, "Hey, grab your stuff and get out." But they thought it was funny. And I'm like, "Why? That's what's fucked up with our industry." Like, the people that was the upper management thought it was funny. I'm like, "That shit ain't funny. Shit, I know this apprentice, this around the corner." So rumor has it that the words were uttered, "I don't know if I even want a tattoo at all, but I want to be an apprentice to tattoo people. I want to learn how to tattoo. Ooh, you got any tattoos?" "No, I don't know if I want one yet,
But I want a tattoo.
but I want to do it to you, but I don't know if I want it."
I just want to see if I like it or not.
The fuck? The fact that you can utter them words, and I don't know if that's true. That could have just been a sourpuss fucking person out of the shop that said it. Rumor has it that this girl said this stuff. But that's the thing that, and nothing, and I don't want people to think like I'm male chauvinist thing, but oh, okay, young, cute, pretty girl, I'm gonna let you come into my shop. Like, god damn, motherfucker, get your shit together. So what? She's a young, cute girl. Have that young, cute girl show her dedication and come back a bunch of times. Like the the dude that came in that had the missing teeth that you were clowning. Like, why is it a appearance and a social media thing? It should be primarily on skill. You ain't hiring somebody as a plumber because they're cute or because they, you know, have a fucking. Could you imagine being like, yeah, got me a new plumber. He's shit, but he has 8,000 followers. We're gonna get a lot of business. Like, come what? That's that world we live in.
Yeah,
And I
but
noticed it in the fucking music industry when I would talk to big music producers, little music producers, dudes that sucked in my opinion. And they're like, yeah, what's weird is if there was a saxophone player and I had to hire one or get one, I'm using their social media attention and their value over their artistic capability or their music capability. Like, what the fuck? So
you
what
know,
we living? And that's the issue with there's so many shops around here. There's so many shops around there that being a niche artist or that style that I do, which it sucks because before the style like blew up, we'll call it, which I don't ever feel like it did, or like if it ever did have the attention that it has, I feel like it was a rumor. Like I'm like, oh, I don't feel the attention that y'all say, but I got pigeon-toed to the point where people don't want it every day. And because I can do that, I'll rather go to this less experienced artist and let them do that because they do names. I'm like, I tattoo, I don't only tattoo prison shanks. It's just something that I gravitated to and was good at. I don't only do animals. I used to do animals at every show, dude, like a little animal face or doing something. Don't do that anymore. I get like maybe once every few months people ask for an animal, but being that I'm a shank artist, it's hard because, motherfuckers ain't getting shanks every day like they used to. Or the odd thing is because of the oversaturation, the creativity from the client don't come. Like Rob, I bet you would do great on a narrating over a movie, but a customer can't fucking break that barrier and be like, you know what, Sky does Shanks. I want this hockey stick from Casey Jones with a blade at the end. No, I'm gonna have Joe Blow do it. That's never fucked with wood, wrap tape, sticks, metal. He does flowers, but I'm gonna let him do it because I can't actually fucking think about it and think who could do this tattoo with these elements. It's like the customer is just so not everybody. I'm just saying, like in the oversaturation place that I live in, Genesee County, it just seems like they're dull on that. Like, come on,
all
man.
right.
I would have had fucking. You wanted that? I would have had this guy do it because he does that. Like, I would have Rob do my fucking narration over the top of my nature movie. I like his voice. There's, it's
All
not
right.
about the fucking social media following, man.
Yeah, yeah. Which
But
I
I
guess.
mean, what's up?
Well, how do you feel about sponsorships in that regard? Because you feel like a lot of
Oof.
brands probably do the same thing. They don't really necessarily look at the talent either. A lot of times they look at how many followers somebody has.
1,000 quadrillion%. And my thing is this: it breaks down back to like the skateboarding sponsorships, the um music sponsorships that once these things like with skateboarding, like once publication on started to die, it would now turn to social media, blah blah blah, and attention. today's date, attention is worth more than gold and money and ever could be. Like if you blow up and you have the most attention on you worldwide, it's endless. Attention is everything. So like with sponsorships, it depends on the product. To me, which I've seen a bunch of your products and I was proud of them. And again, personally, I would never sponsor, be a part of something that I wouldn't back myself if I wasn't sponsored. You know, like I ain't gonna fucking sponsor cigarettes. I don't fuck around. I don't condone pushing something bad onto somebody just for money.
Right, right.
But like, because I don't want, because you are one of them people, and I don't want to say the wrong thing that like dances close to where you might feel that way, because I don't see that with Electrum. I see you guys doing your R&D, doing your, checks and balance, digging through the crates to find the thing to make your product quality, not quantity. It took you a long time. Me and you've talked about all the research and development you do before you release anything or even talk about releasing it. So without the skateboarders, you have no skateboarding magazine, and I think a lot of that, the artists, because that in a world, in somebody's world, that's making it getting a sponsorship or getting this lineup of products where they don't, necessarily have to pay for shows or whatever. Like the juice worth the squeeze, in my opinion. I've got better deals being homies with Rob than not. I'm sorry. Let me use an example. Rob hooks me up being friends with him, but I'm not a sponsored artist. And I would say this because of my genre, my niche, my persona. I could, but then them ink companies would have to get like I only use certain colors or whatever. So like I've never really met the criteria to be sponsored except for certain things. And then when it's on a chopping block and they got Skizzy Scott, the prison shank tattoo artist, or this other guy, it's a dead giveaway. But when I talk to that person and they say they get 15% off and like a handful of products, to me, in certain ways, and I don't, and look, straight up, y'all, I don't know what Electrum would do to a sponsored artist. So I don't know. Again, I'm unsponsored. The fact that that person was already doing fine tattooing with the stuff that they had, but now they got obligations to do posts and all this stuff. I'm like, it doesn't seem like it's worth it because of the simple fact that you were already doing your thing. And without you and a bunch of dudes like you, these people are just corporate dudes that, in some cases, back like we were saying, don't have tattoos. Bro, that's fucked up. Like, what do that's not even gatekeeping. That's like vulturism. That's vulture
Mm.
culture. But not even in that way. You're sneaking around like you are us, like you got a bike when you're inside the biker bar. But we go outside and we don't see no motherfucking bike. You're jumping in a van that has like AT&T on the side, motherfucker. Like you were sneak corporate ways of like doing that instead of being real with us. And then again, like you've got companies that make it worse. Like, dude, trying to like dance around it without directly insulting or calling
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
But like caps were a penny a piece. You get a $10, $1,000 bag. And I hated it because I always knew that a paper product or a recycled product could have came around and cleared that plastic. But yet these other companies are coming around adding all this other bullshit to a cap, a cup, or whatever, adding more plastic waste, more fucking footprint, more bullshit, and adding a higher price on it because it looks cool. So they're like jabbing at our like keeping up with the Joneses with cool shit, our techie side or this and this, just so they can make a profit off of something. and not wear a tattoo from anybody in the building or have any intentions of doing that. They're trying to rack the dough and be up out of there. Same with the clothing companies and stuff like that. Like, fuck it. Like, Ink Addict fucking came along, sold that fucking company for a shitload of money, and dipped. I think one of them was only tattooed. I worked with them. I had shirts. We would talk. We would have artists versus corporate. And then sometimes we'd even have a mediate, a friend in between, and he was, you know, the sales. So he would see both sides of, the thing. But a lot of times when I talk, they always seem to have that mentality, that high first and foremost, the corporate money has to come first. We got to make a lot of money. Period. Like there was a discussion on one time, like, well, what if my mom and grandma want one of my products? Can they call up and just get it? And they're like, oh, well, that would fall under your percentage off each product. And I'm like, so you're making a bunch of money off me, but like, if it came down to it, I can't just like, hey, let my grandma get a shirt. And I feel like that's not the personal side of things. That's the corporate side. Like, come on, man.
Right. Yeah, I think from a business ownership standpoint, it's a little bit tricky to be in those situations sometimes. Just speaking for myself, I don't ever go out and actively like, oh, I want to sponsor this artist. I don't ever have that mentality. Like with you, for example. When I first met you, it's like, oh, who's this guy? He's a cool dude, man. He's got these goggles on his head. He's got some flair. Like I want to get to know this guy. He seems kind of cool. Then I check out your artwork and I'm like, damn, I'm digging these artwork. Matter of fact, I talked you out of an original Prison Shank flash sheet in Atlanta at that Pit Row show. Do you remember that?
Oh, yep, yep.
He
And,
was like,
and
I
I
don't
was
ever let
not
these
joking.
originals go.
I wasn't joking. Them were like one of the first ones, and I'm like, yeah, I don't sell these. Uh-uh. And
But
I
I
just,
got
yeah.
but I got one from you and it's hanging on the wall in my house still today, bro. It's like one of my favorite pieces of art, bro. I framed that up real nice. It's hanging,
Thank you,
bro.
dude.
It's hanging right outside my bedroom, bro. And dude, I dig your work, man. It's just like that's what pulled me to you. I don't even know how many followers you had on Instagram. I don't care. You know what I mean? That's not what validates you as an artist to me, man. It's just like I want to know this guy for his personality and the artwork he's pumping out there, man. So, and at that point, I think once you start to form a relationship with someone and you get to know them on a personal level, all that business shit don't really matter. You're just homies, man, and you just look out for each other. It's like, Scott calls me up and says, bro, can I get some stencil primer? I'd be like, yeah, bro, shit, no problem, man. you know, it's not even about a sponsorship at that point. You know what I mean?
I'm like, oh man. I'm like, I got a box of stuff. I'm like, no.
No, but you know what
Hey,
I mean? You know what I'm
hey,
saying? You know where I'm
fuck
driving.
yeah. That's one of the things that I learned from Gary Vee. Business isn't like most people that don't see the big picture, they don't understand that business isn't sales and interactions, it's building relationships, period. It's structuring relationships on long term for repeat business. If not, if you ain't trying to build a relationship with each one of your client or customer back, what kind of product do you have in life, unless it's like food or something? And even at that, that's going to hit the bottom if you only have one time customers. So you're trying to build relationships off of quality and, you know, the positivity between you two or the cohesiveness of working together.
Right. Right. So, bro,
Yeah,
how do you
like,
feel? How do you feel about AI, bro? You been using any AI in your day-to-day life? How you feeling about it? As far as like personal and art, all that. Is it helping you, or are you not even fucking with it?
oh, personally, I think with the AI technology, we will get to a point where it's hard to see the difference of a human creation, even if the thing is, it's always digital. So it's going to be a while before we can't see. Like I always see the tattoo, or if there's something, there's like a discrepancy in it, and you're like looking. But as far as like using it as a tool, and I would personally say like I suck at summarizing or go on avocado, get out of here. Summarizing or wording, and I don't steal. Like people be like, "Is this all wrote from AI?" I'm like, I used it as like a thesaurus, you know, or use it for financial advice or using it for legal advice. It'll get
Mm-hmm.
you working, and
Yeah.
again, reworking it and re-establishing. There's a system, and it took. I'm that old guy that could barely record on his VCR, but I knew if I didn't adapt, which that's another thing. If you don't adapt and see at least just what this is about, the system, how it's worked, I had to do the same thing with blockchain and coin. You know, blockchain and the Bitcoin and
Cryptocurrency.
how everything worked, transaction, how you did it, just to figure out stuff. I don't. It was boring to me. It's day trading, but I had to figure it out. And if you don't at least just try and have that, I feel like the AI is our next thing. And it's like, this, you know what else they said was a fad? The internet. It's not a fad. It's here to stay. It just depends on where it's going to get incorporated into your world or how you use it. I'm telling you, it's good. I just don't know about the imagings yet
Yeah,
because I've
yeah.
tried to use it for reference and it just seems like it's like, I don't know. And I feel like at to a certain point, it's gonna have to start stealing.
Yeah, yeah, from artists, you're saying, stealing reference photos from artists and stuff to generate new
It
stuff.
already does.
Right,
It
right.
has to. There's no fucking way you telling me that it's like draw a shoulder and it ain't just rifling through existing human pictures, existing fucking drawings of shoulder. That's the weird thing. Like I'm like, it yeah. So it's adapting. So the technology is adapting already. It's barbecuing. So you're either gonna be like, it's a fad and it's gonna go, or you're gonna mildew. You know, like again, it's and again, I have used it. I'll use it for things, but mostly for me personally, it's in literature or legal. Like last night, I'm like, if you bury a relative on your property, does that exempt you from fucking
You
tax?
trying to
You
pull
know, and
that
it's like
Trump card, bro.
the Florida thing, dog. They're like, hell no. Michigan is not a tax exempt state. Okay, okay. Obviously,
my
I'm doing my taxes. You know.
my house is a cemetery now.
Hey, I think it's eight or more. You got to bury eight or more. But using it to fact check it feels better than Google
Uh-huh.
nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
It's thorough.
No,
Seems thorough.
I think it's gonna put a lot of businesses even from a legal standpoint, bro. I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like this is a good talking point because I used it recently for some legal stuff that I've been dealing with, right? And I was like paying these lawyers like this crazy ass amount of money, bro, and like I'm like, damn, these dudes are charging me fucking like $500 to read a fucking email that probably took them like 2 minutes and respond, you know? And they're gonna hit me for $500 just because that's their fucking rate. And then I'm like, damn, bro, I'm not even gonna go ask my lawyer this question. Let me just go over here on Chat GPT and be like, boo, 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 what about this? And it just tells me the answer, and then I just go fact check that shit to see if it's accurate or not. And I just save myself $500, bro.
And it's the facts. It's the real. That's what I like about the AI. If you were trying to figure out something, you can summarize, get real fucking close. Like you don't have all the answers. Now, if you what they call reiterate and go back in and redefine, re keep going. But as far as like that, like all right, my neighbor, this is an old thing, but I guarantee it'd be seconds. My neighbor had a tree. Here's the fence. My neighbor had a tree, limb, fell down, hit the neighbor's car. They wanted to sue that, but it's like, no, that tree is on his property. The limb is on yours. Even if it overhangs, that's your responsibility all the way up. Chat EBT or Gemini or any of them. That's another thing, man. There's so many that they're usually already adapted into your phone, integrated into Google, all that already. Like uh, Jamie had, she didn't know it, but she's like, oh, I got a bunch of agents on something that she already uses. She's like, I didn't know I already had this. And so she just started using it. But legality, again, is your state this or that. It's real good. It's real good to figure things out. But the imaging stuff, I think it's going to get there. Just like how the videos and the face recognition and stuff got better. It's going to take time, but I hope I've made my transition where I ain't worried about it. But I mean, if we have AI designers and you already have machine tattooers, there's a machine that tattoos and people are so excited to get it. I'm like, I've never seen so many people excited to be the first ones to get LASIK surgery.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah. So, bro, you got plans to get back on the road? What's in
soon,
the
soon, because of the low sales and low attendance, shit, I've been taking my camera out on the road and doing a lot of the stuff that I did when I was on the road and I paid for, where I do a package deal. I hooked up with my homeboy Adam from This Twin Films. He
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
took me
yeah.
under his wing. I had him come to Flint, and I met him on the road. And we talked about it. We had talked about it every time we seen each other. And then I had him come to Flint and film me tattooing, film me here and there in the house doing this. But it's like a mini docu series of what we were gonna do and what I wanted to do, where I travel around doing guest spots and interview you in your form, in your rare form, where you want. If you want to do it in your sex dungeon, whatever. If you want to do it at your skate park, if you want to do it at your sub business, at your um, thrift store that you own that you want to promote, whatever. I come, we do some shit, we do whatever is your town thing, and then I reach. I want to. This is all like what I'm doing right now, and why I took a hiatus from the road and from tattooing in my local shop, so I could focus on trying to get this, because it will walk hand in hand. If I come see you, Rob, and tattoo at a shop, your shop, we do an interview, and I get some film, and then go back and do our thing. It all walks hand versus hand, and the people that I'm trying to pitch it to, they want more of the old stuff, that like the record label stuff. So it's not just artists that I want to interview and focus on. Art. Oh,
Right,
sorry.
right. No, I
Art.
respect that.
Period. If you're a musician, that's art. Sculpt, whatever. And I'm gonna come to you, and that's what I'm trying to focus on, and so therefore trying to have it interwoven with the tattoo conventions and on the road doing that, and that'll be. I wanted it to be this year, man, but I had a lot of losses, had a lot of ups, and had a lot of downs, more downs than ups. But lately, I just hit a financial thing where the murals and everything, the invoice should have got processed, but so it didn't, and then therefore it delayed payment, and I didn't make you know the money at the time, so I'm playing catch up like anybody else is doing, and I got all these. I'm hoping all the shit I got my money tied up in, and these investments work. If they don't, they don't. But just trying to get everything involved and then hit the road, man. I would totally love to do more of this stuff with you, and or you know
video interviews and stuff like this. This is tight, man. You really got it going on. I've been a fan since you started, and I'm a fan with a lot of the artist stuff. But sometimes I feel like when there's the element of what did I got a chair, I got a podcast, they get like a Joe Rogan effect where they're like, I'm king shit, and less humble about the topics and more you want to hear my opinions on this topic with these other guys, less being biased or just being sub, you know, invested. Just like it's just weird. But I like yours because I like all your products. Again, I like how you put your heart and soul in your stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I feel like this has got the R&D too. You put your brains. You did your homework on this stuff. I like it.
Yeah, I just found in the archives all the old podcast episodes that Scotty and I were doing back before COVID. So now, because those all came off the internet after COVID, and so you can't even find them anymore. So now I'm just gonna start re-releasing those a little bit at a time. I
Hell,
gotta
you,
go back and listen to them all though, bro, because them
hell
motherfuckers are
yeah.
like 4 or 5 years old, and I'm like, I might have said some shit 4 or 5 years ago. I don't want to be out there with it now. You know what I mean? I gotta check
Hey,
myself.
hey, so hey,
Scotty
hey,
had us
you
talking
you
about a lot of crazy shit, bro.
you just pipe in. You're like, hey, I just want to. I no longer am affiliated with them or whatever. You just have little disclaimers. No, man, that's dope. You can say, hey, thumb it through the crates. It'll be good on like. Think of this. I always see in the record label when we go to radio shows. The motherfuckers are there every day, all day. They wake up at 5 to do their shows, even on holidays. So on holidays, because goddamn, you're gonna make these motherfuckers entertain you while you're driving to your people's house for 15 minutes, and that's all. Like, no. So they'll take them archive ones and release them when you want to do your own thing, and people are expecting. You're like, no, we're gonna drop an archive. So that's gold. You can use that. I like that
Yeah,
from
bro.
the crates.
But you know what, bro? I like your idea, man. I actually had an idea to do something like that a couple years ago, man, where I wanted to art. I called it art venture, where I wanted to get like a videographer to tag along with me and just go pull up at my homies' spots, man, and just same thing, dude. Just chill with them in their element and vibe with them, paint with them, whatever, music, all that. Same
Whatever you
stuff.
do,
Exact
yeah,
same stuff you're talking about, man. I dig that because I thought that was a super cool concept. So I hope you do that, man, because I think that can be a lot of fun for you, and it creates good content, man. People are interested in that kind of stuff, man. I think you should do that
yeah.
for sure. You should chase
That's
that, bro.
and because right now I wouldn't say I'm a novice because I've been doing it for a while. And shit, I learned from one of the best. He put me onto the ism and he showed me a lot of tricks. And then again, I took the stuff as an artist and as a tattoo artist that I would want if I was on that side of the fence now, that I put all the stuff together. And when I do a show, I usually do a package where I pop in and do, 20 to 30 shots and 10 B rolls of, little stuff. You take it and you can do whatever. A lot of people, like when I was in, I forgot what show it was, but picked up a client, man. He immediately took that stuff, put text over it, now booking, and took a lot of it. Really took advantage of it. Um, and it's usually about 250 a person, or you can get a like the whole weekend. You can do it as a shop or a individual. You don't have to have the shop. Yeah, you don't have to have anybody's permission. You can do it. I can do it for the whole show. The only thing about like people are like, why don't you shoot it for Joe Blow for the whole convention? He always has. They always have. It's a lot of work to do the whole convention, and it costs a lot more. I'd say it'd be like 2 to 3K opposed to gathering that from artists and friends and people. So that's all I've been doing, trying to do that. And dude, if you want, I would love to do a co-op. We could try and we'll talk because
Yeah.
I don't really have anything going on except for that, and it's kind of on pause because I ain't on the road. And honestly, everybody's like, "Do your local people." I'm like,
Well, we should
Oh,
talk
why not?
offline, bro, because Flint's not too
Yeah,
far
fuck
from me,
yeah.
bro.
We definitely will. That's a definite.
You're only a few hours from me. And also, I got a nice 40-foot container out there that might need a nice dope mural on it, bro. So I might
That's
hit you up
easy.
about
Hey,
that too.
I love hitting them, man. Them are fun. Where you at now? I mean, state wise.
Indiana, bro. I'm only like 3 hours south of you, bro. I'm close. We're close.
I got eight. It's weird that you said that because I got to go back down there and holler at a couple people in Worcester and around in that area. So I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm right around South Bend. I'm sure you know where
Oh
South Bend's
yeah,
at.
you ain't in Gary, are you?
No, no, I'm about an hour and a half west of Gary.
Hey, you asked about Flint.
Gary's the same, bro. Worse.
Gary, shouts out to Gary, Indiana. No disrespect. It felt like Flint. We had an artist. We had an artist. What is it? Pickup transaction in Gary. I'm sitting there. We were there for 5 minutes. We're sitting there at this spot, and I'm just looking around. And I'm like, this is like Flint, man. I just see cops doing all types of different stuff, and they're not for no coincidence. I'm just like, man, this is the crime area, and I don't think there's any non-crime area in Gary, really. And I'm like, I feel like we left home and we arrived at home in a different state. Let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah, man.
Well, bro,
I remember that area a lot.
we're gonna take a road trip to Gary pretty soon. Probably like in a month or two. We're gonna go up to Roy Boy's shop, shoot some video up there, and hang out for the day, and just get. Because I'm trying to do more shit with tattoo history, man, and just go back and
That's dope.
chill with some of the OGs and check out some of the old shops that are still around, have been around for years and
That's
years.
the
And just,
original Tiger King, bro.
yeah, bro.
He literally was some of the people that they had talked about that were precursor to what the Tiger King now
Dude,
was
his shop's
doing and
still there,
did.
bro.
I know. Hey,
Still there, bro. They're still
he.
tattooing out of there.
I see a lot of people pass through. I did not know that. I really did not know that. I knew about it. For some reason, I thought he retired or
Well,
whatever.
he's dead. Roy Boy's dead, but
No, that's what I'm saying. And
yeah,
like it shut down, and I didn't know it's still working.
yeah.
I
His
thought it was just like a museum type.
now Deborah's running that shop. Yeah, she still tattoos there, bro, every day.
That's dope. That's dope. I'd get so much merchandise, dude. When I was a kid, I'd be like, whoa, touching them fucking magazines with the fucking had the chick, had him off flexing with his shirt off on a bike and just had like a chick, like the 80s chicks. That was like Flint area. Like my uncles and shit were all bikers and shit. So they would have them like, in my opinion, this is it would just be like white trashy. And I'd just be like, ah, but it was also me too. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say I'm like nose up too good for that. I'm like, nah, they're my people too. I'm just as trashy as I am classy,
I'll let
because
you
of
know where
them
we're gonna go, man,
backgrounds.
if you want to go too, bro.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Hey, and I ain't got shit going on. I'll bring my camera and we'll make something happen. How about that?
Yeah, it'll
That's
be
fucking awesome.
that's gonna be a good road trip.
Yeah, I always get tattoos at spot like that too. And people are like, what? I'm like, just to get it. I got
Because, man, it means something.
hell yeah. Too many people don't get tattooed nowadays, and that's my thing. Not customers or clients. Too many artists talk about, that ain't gonna hurt, this and this. Do you have a tattoo on your elbow, bro? Nah, but I'm like, yeah. And you're going around telling people that the ditch ain't that bad. The ditch is horrible. And
Bro, I'll tell you
I
straight up. I don't like getting tattooed anymore. I
fuck
fucking
no.
hate it, bro.
Older you
I
get, your
fucking
bones
hate it.
get brittle, and so do your nerves and veins. I did not know that. A doctor told me that your nerves and your veins get tougher, like leather. They're just older. They're getting tough. So it's better to get tattooed young. But I can't stand that people don't give women credit. Women versus men tattoo pain is polar opposite. It's not the same. Men aren't built for an annoying type of tattoo pain. Women, that's like nothing to them.
Oh,
Nothing.
they give birth to children, bro.
Yeah, but that's not even on the dude. I've seen a woman get a tattoo holding a child and play on her phone like it wasn't nothing. I got the same fucking tattoo spot, and I was like And she had been there for like 2 hours, just like holding her baby. Her baby's asleep right here. She's like, got the baby just tattooed. It's not condoned. I'm just saying I'd seen it, and it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
a big deal because the lady wasn't even fucking flinching, and I'm like dying. I tattooed like 12 a basketball team. They all got it behind their ear. I got this acorn by fucking LT Woods, and that fucking shit hurt so bad. Every single one of them young ladies lied to me. They're like, "Oh, it's nothing, Scotty." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, this is bad. This is so bad. How much longer that I'll take? Oh my god. Ooh, I'm cool. I'm a G. I'm cool. I'm cool."
No,
Fuck.
I'm not crying. I'm not crying. Shut up.
Dude, when I got my elbow, I seen the color of pain, and it was as red as the devil's dick. That shit hurt so fucking bad. When you get my
Yeah,
elbow,
I
I
think
ran around.
it's different for everybody, obviously, man.
Yeah,
I mean, bro, there's times where I've sat through 13-hour tattoo session and it really wasn't
fuck
shit.
you,
You know what I
fuck
mean?
you, fuck you, Rob.
And
Fuck
then
you.
there's other time, and then
Three and a half.
there's other times, bro, where I'm just like, fuck this shit.
13 hours, bro.
I did my chest in one setting, bro, 13 hours straight. My whole chest, start to finish, boop. But that's how
I'm
I
trying to
am,
say
dude.
how
I
many
don't
could I'd have broke that up into 4 sessions.
see. I don't like doing that, bro. I just want
No,
to fucking
personally,
knock it
I'd
the
want to
fuck out,
receive it that
bro.
way. I don't either. I want it one and done. But I don't think I could. I don't. I hate getting tattooed. Now I will if that's what it takes. I'm not a pussy in that form. Nothing against pussies. I'm just saying when it comes to that form, my vertebrae, my back, I can't sit. And plus, I'm an antsy, I'm pantsy. I want to get up and dance. So I'm like, I hate sitting for long
Hey,
periods.
I just tell my artists, I'm like, bro, if you're good, I'm good. We're going. We're
Oh
fucking
yeah,
going.
I want to get it done. That was some of my favorite tattoos that got done in one session. Fuck yeah, man. You got any tattoos you're getting in the near future?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm reworking my chest now. I got half of it done and I pushed out on that. That
So you got more than 13 hours on your chest then now.
now I do, bro. I mean, well, 13 hours was fucking, 18 years ago, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So to go with what you're saying, younger versus older, you know what I mean?
I'm cool. Hell yeah. 18 years ago,
Now
I wish I'd have got my back done.
I started reworking it, 2 years ago. And I went in there with the same thing, 48 years old now, 18 years later. And I tell my artists, I'm like, let's just fucking shovel through, bro. Boom, do it. Get about
Hell,
halfway through and I'm like, fuck this shit, dude. I'm done. I'm like fucking done, bro.
ooh.
And now I haven't even gone back. He keeps hitting me up. He's like, when are we going to finish that chest? I'm like, I'm not in any hurry, bro. I'm not in no hurry.
Let me think. I think I keep, because another thing is I try and catch artists on the road when we're both at a show or, plus, and this advice too, I only get tattooed by my friends nowadays or people I like their vibe. Or if I just see something at a show and I'm like, fuck, man, I hate getting tattooed and I want that though. Like if I see something as an artist and as a tattoo artist, I want it. I get it. Or I'll buy the flash off them. I want it. And then I'll get it when they can. Cause sometimes like I've been dying to get tattooed by Alex Fish for a while, but she's so booked up. She's so good that like you have to do friends or not, you still have to do process. She has a way, and if you want to get in, that you gotta wait in line, regardless of how VIP you want to be or hope to be or try to get because of the show's slow or whatever. She's gonna be booked up.
Right, right.
Same. I got this piece. Everybody wants this leftover piece of juicy. Um, damn it, it's moving for me. I can't even get it.
No, that's a
My
big piece of
forearm.
real
I have
estate
my.
right
This
there.
one's done. This one's not. I've talked to Ulysses a bunch of times. I've been saving this spot for him. And them are the only two tattoos artists I have in mind. And again, like I got others that if I catch them, sure, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I got some stuff I want, bro, but it's just not like I want to get this big Polynesian piece around my neck. I've been saving it. You know, I haven't got any tattoos on my neck purposefully because I've been saving this, you know. I got this Polynesian piece that I want, but I want it to come and I want a specific artist to do it, but I just haven't been able, it's just like you and Alex, you know, I just haven't been able to get it. It just hasn't worked. So I'm just not doing it until the stars align.
Hey, and the stars have lined when we were tattooing right next to each other, me and her. It's totally booked though, you know. And same with uh Blair. Eunice is super talented as well. And my favorite thing about him is his uh showing how he does things. I like that. I like how artists and people are like, they're giving away. No, they're not giving away their game. They're showing their game and how they do it. And there's been and there's been so many inspiring things that he's done on his posts or whatever. Where as a 25-year-old artist, I knew some of it, but rehashing it again, being like, oh yeah, you know. Sometimes an old dog don't need new tricks; it just needs to be reminded about the tricks they already know and that are effective and they work. Like me and Mo talk all the time. Steve Monet talk all the time about application and art and everything. And he had a great point. It's about building. It's not. It's once you learn application, it's about building it up. You know, and how you go about that is how dynamic the artwork will be. You know, and I feel like that. I want an artist that takes pride and does their own artwork, has their own thing or whatever. You know, and all three of them are very insanely talented, award winning. Um, but like I've inquired about tattoos on strangers that I looked up to on the internet, and then when I consult or just walked up and was like listening in, I'm like, man, this chick is a fucking dickhead. Like, why are they such an ass? Like, you know, or you see them out smoking a cigarette or puffing tough, and you're just, you know, like, and they're just ripping into their client,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you're like, damn, I don't know, I fart, I didn't, you know, he's going off about this dude that did a little poop. You know, he's probably nervous or whatever, and just giving him shit like he pooped his pants or something. And I'm like, you know, I'm a guy, I'm old, I'm like, I'm insecure. I'm like, man, what if I'm too fat to get a tattoo from that person? And they're gonna make fun of me when they smoke cigarettes with their cigarette smoke, hey, and smoking in the boys' room and all the cool kids, you know. So like, I'd rather get a tattoo from a cool vibe because you're gonna be sitting there with this motherfucker for you, 13 plus. Like, I don't want to be sitting by some asshole that you
Right.
know has a huge complex or is an asshole. Or be honest with you, I will not put up with putting down others like the male chauvinistics dudes. They're just gonna bitch about their wife and put down women and then be like, you know what I'm talking about, bro. And you're like, no, but you're sitting there, so you're in his chair. You don't want your tattoo to be bad. It's that whole vibe. So I'm like, I don't condone any of that shit. So if I even see flexing of any sort of that, you kind of lost me as a fan. I might still enjoy seeing your art, but I probably wouldn't recommend or get somebody. You know, I want good vibes. I want to be having fun. I want to be the more like we're extending our vacation fun, having fun while I'm getting tattooed. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that's hard to find these days.
Nah, you just gotta look around. Well, hey, bro, if people want to check out your mural work, you also got pins, which we didn't talk. You still doing a lot of your enamel pins and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, hey, right here. Yeah, yeah. I still got them. Some of them sell out. Some of them don't. Some of them I like. I have this um digital scale. It's like a drug dealer scale, but it glows in the dark, and it's really cool because it's an oversized one, and they're numbered 1 to 200 on the back. Let's see what number this is. You can't see. I ain't got my glasses.
59.
And I wanted to do this grand launch release. Some shit happened, and I was on the move. We had a bunch of home improvement, life at home distractions to where I really didn't get to launch them, and now I'm sitting on them, and I never really put them out there like that. So sometimes it's just I don't get a chance to put them out there. Sometimes I only sell them on the road, or I do them at the graffiti shows. But yeah, man, anybody that wants a pin, you can reach out to me in any way. Sometimes I have them on me. Um, but any way to get in touch with me, we're setting up a Shopify and everything. I think it's already set up and it has the pins on there, but they sold out some of them real fast because some of my fans, like my family members or whatever, hadn't been out on the road with me, and some of them were rarity and they sold out real fast. And I have a shirt coming out that I'm dropping. I usually drop my graffiti character shirt and then I do a tattoo shirt. This time, I'm so glad you brought this up because I forget about it. And this hit me hard too. Um, Last year I had Jack Rudy make a t-shirt design for me, and we had been in. He does the Motor City. He did the Motor City show every year, and we would interact. You know, he's a man of light words too. So getting in to his conversation circle was a big deal to me. I looked up to him. He's a pioneer, if not an inventor of our game and our career. I respected him and looked up to him and admired that he still would conversate with me. And so after a few years, we became cool. I got his number. We became somewhat of a friend, you know, in my book, I hope, you know. And it took me a while to get him to make the shirt because he would say it and be like, all right, get a hold of me. And I'd be like, I don't want hey, Mr. Jack Rudy, sir, I don't have your number. I'll get it. I'll get it. I'll get it. Hey, Carl, can I get his number? I ain't giving you his fucking number. You get it from him. And I'm like, respect. Okay, yeah. So I can't get it to a third party. So it took me a while, and then I got his number. We were talking, and he made it. And then I was gonna get tattooed by him a few months ago at the Detroit show, and he had passed a few weeks right before the Detroit show, and that one hurt because he didn't let me down, man. When you meet one of your heroes that don't let you down and ain't a disappointment, and even that, my admiration I admired him more hearing his stories in person, seeing his just stand up, cool ass dude. Man, they don't make fucking dudes like that anymore, dude. Anyway, I was super hurt that close to getting tattooed by him. That too, it was hard to get tattooed by him too. He only wanted to do what he do, and so I didn't do the Detroit show because I didn't want to I don't know. Again, I hide. I couldn't fake it that time.
Right.
That a few months ago. So I got that shirt. I'm about to release that. I will put it on the Shopify. If you see me, you have them. Trying to do our thing, one step at a time, trying to get that grill barbecuing up. But again, it was hard for me to do the Shopify. It's super easy, y'all, but it was hard for me to sit down and do it.
Yeah.
The VCR thing.
AI can help you, I think.
Hey, if y'all don't know, AI, wherever your trouble is, you word it out like you're talking to a 3-year-old, y'all, and they will take it from there and help. Because I did. Oh, that's another thing. AI, taking the code, help you, send you in the right direction. If you're like, I need a free site, ask it where the free sites are. Like, I did use it for that.
It'll literally design a website for you, bro.
Straight up.
100%.
Or if your site is down, you can have it do analytics and it will figure out the broken code and tell you 3 different ways to fix it. It gives you multiple. That's another thing. Give me examples. Yeah, man. Yeah, fuck yeah, Rob, man. This has been enlightening, dude. I really need to talk. I don't know how you got it out of me. You got a bunch of stuff that I usually don't talk about off the chest, and it was good to talk. Give it some air, let that pressure off.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk about the dark times. Talk about the good times.
Yeah, I'm
You
always happy
know.
to give you that outlet, man. And I didn't know. That's why I told you when we were mixing it up a little bit yesterday. I was like, hey, man, here's a basic outline of what we could talk about, but I don't ever really try to stick on a strict outline, bro. I just kind of let the conversation flow the way it goes, man. Keep it real.
Subconsciously though, because you did, we did. We touched all of them, and that's I admire that. Again, you did a lot. You did your R&D. You did your homework. And when we did the invitation, I included the same because I'm OCD and just thorough. I like to be properly prepared. And you already were. You already had the outline, and we did. We touched them. But I feel like because of that, when you get distracted and like, it's, oh yeah, about that sponsorship, about that AI.
No, it's
Because I've
good,
been
man.
on these podcasts, bro, and you let me smoke. I might get distracted or whatever. Avo tried to come in here a few times. And if I purposely sat in this chair so he couldn't jump up on here, because if he gets on camera, y'all ain't gonna stop talking about him. And I'm like, man,
Oh yeah, let's see avocado. Where's he at?
I don't know. Hey, dude hey, he's such a free man. He does what he wants, and people are always like, oh, he's so adorable. He's not a cuddler. He don't. You'll be like this, and he'll do this thing. He's like, what's he doing? And move 3 feet away and lay down and like look at you like, the fuck was you just doing? He's grown a little bit to it, but I think he's outside. He goes to war with the squirrels in the daytime, just battles, barks. It's an onslaught thing. He's
Well,
probably out there doing
that's
his
what
thing.
we'll catch him later, bro. Throw your
Yeah,
Instagrams out, throw your contact out, let people know where to come
yeah,
get you.
man. Instagram is most of the posted content. That's Skizzy Scott. I do this for a lot of people. If you search my email, Skizzy Scott at Gmail, uh, Skizzy is Skizzy. A lot of people think it's C. If you search for that, it'll pop up most of my social, except for the YouTube, which that will probably be some of the stuff in the future for the more of the content of what the show will be about, and that's Skizzy Scott Rocks 810, I think, because somebody already took Skizzy Scott. But
On
yeah,
YouTube.
but I usually do the links too. So if you find me on all of that, um, TikTok too as well. Um, I don't really do a lot of the other stuff. I don't. I have a website because of the multiple things. I don't know what website it should be, but when we launch the show or whatever, it will dance and have a more of basically an outline of all the stuff that I've done and do, and then therefore it'll have links on the site. And I'm just waiting for that, but you can always check out the Shopify if you want that. Hit me up on Instagram if you want anything, tattooed, mural. If you want that mural, if you want some footage, some content, I come to you. Well, we can also do a shop thing. If you got a shop and want to walk through, we got all that stuff too. Anyway, I always say this: I give every way to communicate with me, Facebook, Messenger, all that. I respond to all of it because if that's your way, that's my way too. Now, shit, if that's the way for us to correspond. I'm okay with it.
All right, bro.
Some
Yeah,
what's up?
I'll put all your links in the podcast description too, so people can find you that way too. It'd be easy.
Hell yeah.
But
I
yeah, bro.
appreciate this, man. I appreciate it. I love you, Rob, man. This has been awesome, dude.
I love you too, man.
Uh,
It's been good chatting with you, bro.
I'm really excited for things in the future. Again, I don't have any expectations like, oh, we're gonna work. No, that would just be great. And again, relationships should build organically. When it seems like one's forcing or you're doing too much on one side, yeah. So I like everything to happen organic. So if it can, man, that's just a blessing, and that would be awesome to work with somebody awesome like you. So let me know.
All right, bro.
Hey,
I'm gonna hit you up.
peace. Appreciate it, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.